Everyone's always talking about getting retainer deals as a TikTok Shop affiliate, but most people actually have no idea when and if they actually make sense. So I quite literally every single day get offered multiple retainer deals since I started making, over $10,000, even $20,000 per month every single year thus far in 2025. Now, some I have taken, but honestly, for me, it's gotten to a point where I shut most of them down instantly and I don't even take on any more myself. So let me explain exactly why, because here's the thing that most affiliates don't really understand. Retainer deals can actually be a trap that keeps you from making the real money, the life-changing money that you want to make, right? So making TikTok Shop income above 10K per month is usually all about earning commissions by being a top affiliate for a lot of these trending products early on, kind of before they blow up fully. So a lot of the top affiliates get a biased amount of traffic from the algorithm, right? So it's hard to compete with them once they're already favored. So again, when a brand offers you $1,000, or even 1.5K, I've gotten offered before for 30 videos, it might sound appealing, but you could potentially be leaving $20, $30, $40, $50,000 or more on the table by being in the wrong positions and playing the wrong game. So for example, Trevor, he went from 0 to 8K per month. Danny just hit his first 10K per month, his full month working with me. Tyreek hitting 20 to 30K per month consistently after joining in February of this year, all by focusing on commission optimization, not retainer chasing, right? So in this video, I'm breaking down exactly when retainer deals might make sense, when they don't, and how to actually navigate this decision if you want to make a ton of money on TikTok Shop as an affiliate. So if you are new here, my name is Kade Wiley, and I help part-time or even full-time TikTok Shop affiliates build consistent 5-figure, even multi-5-figure monthly income. So if you're already a subscriber, welcome back. So let's dive into the video. So before I get into how the actual strategy works, let's talk about why brands are offering retainers in the first place. Again, all of this information that I'm talking about is things that I know, dealing with multiple different brands. And even I have multiple brands on TikTok Shop myself. So I understand why these retainers are being offered in the first place. So before you understand the strategy, you really need to know why these retainers are being offered in the first place, right? So what kind of brands are typically offering retainers? There's usually two categories, right? The very first category of products or brands are ones that are just starting off, right? So let's say they have 5 units sold. There's a lot of 7, 8, 9-figure brands being brought in on TikTok Shop, right? And a lot of them are used to meta, where you just run ads and you scale quickly, quote unquote easy to do, kind of similar to Amazon, right? Where you put spend behind it and you move along. The problem with a lot of these newer brands is who are the ones offering and willing to spend money is that they have no actual knowledge about the platform, right? And so what's going to happen when you get offered, let's just say 1K for 30 videos, like that's a higher amount. Like a lot of brands oftentimes won't offer that. Like most of the time you can get anywhere from like $500 to $750 for a 30 video retainer. But let's just go with the high example of like $1,000. Let's say you're an upper echelon affiliate, you can pretty easily get $1,000 for 30 videos, which if you run the math sounds great. But the problem is you are very rarely going to sell anything. Because again, if a brand has 5 units sold, 10 units, even 50 units sold on TikTok Shop, really nobody's going to want to buy it, right? So again, you are sacrificing your commission potential for what you're going to make with your retainer. And the other end of the spectrum, you have companies like Nello Supercom, where they've already sold 100,000, 200,000 units sold. And when that happens, a lot of times they will start to offer retainers again because they're trying to hold on to that top spot. So they're willing to spend more. So again, that's one area you're going to sell less commission in general, right? So even if you're getting $1,000, right, you're understanding that you are going to sell less. Now, can you sell some units still? Yes, absolutely. But again, my whole thought process for me and every single person that I work with, they're trying to get to 10K plus per month every single month. That's the most common goal that I hear is how do I hit 10K and how do I do it consistently? So if you want to get anywhere near that, right? So now you got to stack basically 4 or 5 retainers. And even if you are getting $1,000 per month, which most affiliates, if you're not making already 10K plus per month, most brands aren't going to be willing to offer you $1,000. So I'm being very generous here with my $1,000 for 30 videos retainer amount, right? So let's just say now you're able to find 3 retainers for $1,000. For myself, I could do that pretty easily. For a lot of people, if you're doing a fair amount of GMV, could you actually do that? Yes. So now let's take you through the day-to-day process of actually making these videos. So now you've got a baseline salary, let's call it, of $3,000 per month. So what? Maybe you sell 1 to 2,000 units. So if you're doing 3 retainers, that's 3 videos per day, which again, doesn't sound like much, but the problem is when you're trying to make all these different videos, your head is so scattered. So not only that, the truth that most people don't want to talk about is a lot of TikTok Shop is momentum based. Again, I've seen all of this on the brand side. I've experienced this firsthand. My students have experienced this firsthand, what it's like to be on the side of momentum. right? So the problem is TikTok cares very much about the products that you are promoting, right? So when you're promoting good products, TikTok will give you more traffic. So I don't care how good of an affiliate you are, if you're promoting quote unquote crappy products in the eyes of TikTok, not saying that the actual product is crappy, but when you do that, TikTok is going to give you less traffic because they're like, hey, we don't even want to push this product. We want you to promote products that we think are going to do well. TikTok will start to push every single person's videos as a product starts to do well and starts to trend, right? So if you're promoting crappy products in the eyes of TikTok, right, you're not going to get really any commission out of that. And not only that, you're extracting your mental energy that's taken to think about those specific videos, right? And so to pair with that, for a lot of people, they have some sort of job, right? If you have some sort of job, you only have a set number of time, you are now limiting your upwards potential. And I cannot explain and emphasize how important mental energy is, especially when you're doing something like TikTok Shop where you have to be creative, right? So the last thing you want to do is have this thought process in your head like, oh my gosh, I got to make another video for this stupid product. I know it's not going to sell. No matter what I do, I'm just not getting views. I'm not getting sales. And that really affects your mental energy more than most people realize, right? So when that affects your mental energy, even if you do go to your other account or whatever that may be, where you're trying to maximize for a commission, it is going to have a mental impact. So for myself, again, I understand why people are taking retainers and where they can be useful. So before we dive into the rest, I do want to mention something about, advanced decisions like this. So this is something that I talk exactly with a lot of the people that I work with in the mentorship program during our weekly coaching calls, during the one-on-one coaching calls. So you can find a link in the description if you do want to check that out. It's seriously designed for people who want to make 10K, plus per month, who are already making maybe some amount of money, but want to consistently scale past 10K months, even 20K months, and just make smarter business decisions. So we dive into the nuanced stuff that I honestly can't and won't cover in these YouTube videos, like when specific retainer offers make sense, how to structure deals properly, but most importantly, how do you actually build something long-term that maximizes your income potential on TikTok Shop. So our group chat stays active, real-time discussions about opportunities like this as they come up. And honestly, it's like unlike any other community because everybody's actually focused on building real, consistent, profitable income, not just talking about it and actually hitting those next levels, 10K, 20K. So genuinely, we can't take everyone on who applies, mainly because it's a lot of personalized attention and the quality would suffer, that is my number one priority, is quality will not drop. So this is genuinely only for people treating TikTok Shop like a real business and who wants to post every single day, and not for those on the fence about committing to. Quite honestly, I can't think of a better opportunity right now to make multiple six figures in remote income with nearly 100% profit margins, no matter who you are, what you look like, or how old you are. So I'm not making any income claims here. Most affiliates don't make any money at all, but this program is designed to share the lessons from affiliates like myself and other students who are doing 10 to 30K per month to help increase the profitability so that you can do this yourself. So the link is in the description if you do want to discuss your specific situation. So again, back to the retainer strategy. So now let's go over to the other example of when it can actually be useful, right? So if you are someone who has a 9-to-5 job or just a job, or you're busy, whatever that may be, whatever you're doing, right? If your goal is to make anywhere from $2,000 to, I would say, $4,000 a month, that can be a good spot to get retainers. Like if that's all you want to do, you want to put the least amount of effort in to get to $2,000 to $3,000 per month, take retainers. That simple, right? Now, here's the interesting catch-22, right? The creators who want to make $2,000 to $4,000 per month oftentimes can't get the retainers to get them to $2,000 to $4,000 per month. Whereas the affiliates who are already making 5K plus per month, they don't want the retainers. I can't tell you the amount of times I've been offered retainers. People branch are like, hey, we'll give you this, we'll give you this. And I personally don't care because my goal, my personal goal, is to do $20,000 per month every single month on TikTok Shop, which is what I've done thus far. And I will give you another example of when I personally took retainers. When I quit my job back in September, there's some sort of like just mental freeing feeling of knowing that your bills are paid for by taking retainers. So in the beginning, I did that to help me out. So that's another example. If you just quit your job and you want to make sure your bills are covered, take one of your accounts and do retainers on them, right? So that's an example where that can make sense. But if you're trying to get to these next levels and you want to only do it by retainers, you're really, really stunting your growth. Because again, the opportunities that are given by retainers oftentimes aren't going to be enough to get you to where you want to be. Now, so we talked about some bad retainer arrangements. So let me go over a couple examples where it can make sense. So for example, if I'm posting a product and I'm doing well with it, I will absolutely negotiate a retainer. If I'm already doing it, cool, I might as well get paid something else for it. So even if it's only $1,000, if I know I'm going to do that anyways, cool, I will never turn down a free $1,000, and you shouldn't either. So if you're posting a product and you're doing well with it and you plan on promoting it anyways, absolutely go for it, negotiate, do whatever you can to get those extra amounts, because it can really add up over time, especially as you have multiple accounts. You're trying to scale to 20K plus per month. So again, the biggest takeaway I want you to have from this video is understand what your goals are and have the direct distinction in your head that if you want to do, so I want to categorize this into two groups of people right here. So ask yourself, which group of people do you want to be? Do you want to be the person that does $8,000 plus every single month on TikTok Shop? If that is you, please do not take retainers. Please do not take retainers. You're going to handicap yourself so much. And I've seen this time and time again from so many people. Be aligned with your goals. If you want to do $5,000 per month or less on TikTok Shop, take retainers. Stack 3 of them. Get 3 of them combined. That's $3,000. You might be able to get a little bit commission on top of that. But again, the trap that people fall into is not aligning with your goals. So if you are someone who wants to do that 10K plus per month every single month, retainers will not get you there unless you want it as a temporary peace of mind, which then it can make some sense. But again, be very careful. Be wary of retainers, because again, no matter what any agency tells you on TikTok Shop, they want you to have retainers because they are working with that brand. So if a brand or if an agency tries to tell you, oh, this brand, they're going to scale so quickly, they're full of it. They're acting in their best interest, which is fine, but you're going to also act in your best interest. So them telling you, oh, this is about to scale to $1 million a month and it's got 20 units sold, that's not going to happen, right? So again, align your interests with what you're trying to accomplish, and that's how you can figure out if you should take retainers or you should not take retainers. But again, most of the people that I work with, chances are if you're watching this video, you want to be in that category of 8 to 10K plus per month. Retainers are not the way to go. So the bottom line is that most people should focus on commission first, retainer second, right? So retainers, can they be a nice addition to your income, but they really shouldn't be the main strategy if you want to make serious money in this space. So the biggest earners that I know, and even myself, are crushing it through strategic commission play, not necessarily monthly retainer checks, right? So if you do want help making these advanced decisions, optimizing your entire monetization strategy, right? So you can click the first link in my bio to apply for the mentorship program. So we're going to review your current opportunities, help you just scale and navigate this, and when should you take on retainers, right? And show you how to structure your business for maximum long-term income. This is advanced strategy for people who are already making money and who want to scale properly. So you can click that link in the description. And we'll optimize your entire approach to making money as a TikTok Shop affiliate. So make sure you subscribe for more advanced TikTok Shop strategies like this, and I will see you in the next video.